The Warriors return home after a successful road trip to host a solid Eastern Conference playoff team in the Detroit Pistons. This was another test in the Jimmy Butler-Steph Curry duo, but it was Jimmy who led the way, scoring a Warriors season-high 26 points on efficient shooting from mid-range and beyond the arc. I want to break down his all-around performance, including his 9 boards and 5 assists, so let's get to it. This was a tough, gritty win with no team ever leading by double digits. When Butler has the ball on the perimeter, defenses will continue to let him shoot the long ball, preferably to play his drive. When Quinn Post tries to run a ghost screen, Jalen Duren does not get bothered and continues to play drop coverage. Butler is very unique in that he is pretty much zero dribbling bag, but he is crafty with his footwork and keeps his dribble alive to get exactly where he wants on the court. I feel like these are the shots that he knows he can get and just takes what the defense can give him. He's not going to attack a shot blocker, but instead look at this simple right foot pivot at the free throw line with a half spin over his right shoulder. Then he turns around to shoot a fadeaway jump shot. Shout out Moses Moody for continuing his incredible stretch of basketball, playing good defense on Cade Cunningham and hustling multiple times for extra opportunities on the offensive end. Off a Draymond miss, you can see Moody kind of sense that the rebound will be long and grabs it and immediately hands it off to a superstar. With the Pistons a little confused on who to pick up, Isaiah Stewart finally realizes that he's the one guarding Jimmy and makes the mistake of trying to close out. Butler stays patient by not rushing a 3-ball but instead shot fakes and immediately attacks his closeout to get an advantage, using his body to sneakily draw a foul and finished a tough layup. Butler is known to have a lethal mid-range shot, but he does not exactly abuse it until it comes playoff time. When Post comes for the high screen, Schroeder does a great job playing aggressively in between Butler and the pick, not needing to force a switch. Now Jimmy knows this, so he counters by swinging the ball to Post and jab stepping towards him, knowing Schroeder is trying to fight over, and then back cutting right to the rim. Great chemistry by Post and Jimmy here with this bounce pass through the spinning Dennis Schroeder, and Jimmy masterfully uses 2-foot jump stop to get full control and absorb the defender's contact for an 8-foot bank shot and the foul. The arrival of Jimmy has elevated the confidence of many of the Warriors' role players, the biggest one including Moody, Post, and Pods. Moses and Jimmy play on 2-on-1 here, giving Jimmy the ball in the high post. This slight mismatch catches Cade Cunningham ball watching and thinking twice about whether to come help, giving Moody the opportunity to slide down to the corner. Butler loves looking to set up his teammates, and this is an in-rhythm, open catch-and-shoot opportunity for a good look. Like I said in my last video, the only problem I have with Jimmy so far is his horrendous 3-point shooting, but I know that will come when it matters most. Golden State runs a dribble handoff action, and the Pistons have an aggressive defensive philosophy of playing straight up, asking their on-ball defenders to fight through the screen if possible. Cunningham sticks with Moody and blows his action up, and from one pass away, you can see Tobias Harris has 1 foot in the paint to help on a potential drive, away from a non-shooter in Butler. Moses does not make things complicated and swings the rock, where Butler sees Harris in a drop coverage, encouraging him to shoot. Jimmy thinks, Tobias Harris over me, and calmly drains his 3-ball in his face. Now, Steph had an inefficient shooting night. You gotta credit the Detroit defense. On the weak side, Draymond initially tries to come from a down screen, but the Pistons stay aggressive by having Beasley top block Steph, preventing the usage of the pick. The Warriors countered this coverage by having Jimmy run a chase action, where he throws the ball first to Green and gets a handoff. Simultaneously, Curry runs on the baseline to bait Beasley, then suddenly sprints off the secondary action of another Draymond down screen. Beasley is now forced to chase from behind, and Draymond's defender Duren is in a predictable drop coverage. Steph comes off the curl and finds daylight for this great counter and 3-pointer. 25,000 points for the GOAT. Steph and Jimmy had great chemistry this game. Jimmy tries to come for the high pick and Detroit is just smothering him. Steph has the counter with a behind-the-back dribble, but he drives into a triple team with Harris helping off a non-shooter as well. Butler's high IQ and patience allows him to stay in the dunker spot, where Curry turns his potential contested shot attempt into a wild bounce pass at the last second. Butler is at the right place at the right time to receive this pass for an easy 2 points. The thing with Jimmy is, if he has a mismatch, he'll take the guy one-on-one, but the second he gets a double team, he knows one of his teammates will be wide open, and that's what makes him a superstar. Fontecchio tries to give him baseline, where Butler uses a simple jab and easily gets by him. Stewart comes to rotate as the weak side low man, but Jimmy knows not to contest him, and instead snakes his dribble a bit and jump stop into the middle of the paint. This attracts the defense just enough before dumping it off to a 7-footer in post. The rookie finishes the layup, and this is all set up by the crafty Butler. On this possession, Quinn Post comes for the high screen, but the Pistons decide to ice Jimmy to the sideline. Again, Butler loves to take what the defense gives him and simply drives right to see what happens. Quinn Post is a shooter and will almost always pick and pop. The Warriors aren't in the best spacing here, with Buddy bringing his defender and shooter right in the driving lane, but Jimmy's able to methodically hesitate the entire defense by slightly looking at Post first, tricking Detroit into thinking he will be swinging the ball to the perimeter. But with Stewart not fully committing, Butler makes a last-minute decision to attack this gap and instead gets the easier bucket. This is a classic example of Jimmy's patience. With Schroeder breaking a three-pointer, we got the Warriors running a 3-on-3 break. The first swing pass to a shooter forces Hardaway to run out, where Buddy attacks the closeout and drives baseline. This forces Cade Cunningham to help, and a great dump-off pass back to Jimmy. Butler is known for his many shot fakes that gets defender to either fly by or committing a shooting foul, and this is a classic example. Butler does not hurry and uses this first shot fake to then time his actual shot attempt with no contest. Stewart comes in late and hacks him on the head for the and one. This is incredible manipulation and timing. This one was funny, not really much of a breakdown, but with the shot clock winding down, Stewart actually comes out to the perimeter with his hand up. Look at how casual Jimmy Butler is here, with a little jab, then just tossing the shot up with a slight right leg kick. Just a casual lineup three as Jimmy lights it up from downtown. The Pistons were not going away. In crunch time, both teams were playing stellar defense, but now it's when superstars need to take over. Tobias Harris plays aggressive denial defense to prevent the post entry pass, forcing Jimmy to catch the ball in the perimeter. With the shot clock winding down, Butler takes it personal on his favorite Sixers ex-teammate and goes to work with this one dribble hezzy pull a midi, then drains it, then points to the defender and says one more time, "Tobias Harris over me?" This last one got my heart beating fast. Earlier in the season, the Warriors would undoubtedly choke these kind of clutch games, but Jimmy Butler has completely inspired the rest of the roster into simply making shots. Moses comes for the on-ball pick and Cade Cunningham switches. The real action's on the strong side where Draymond Green's trying to set a down screen for Steph, but the Pistons continue their great defense by having Schroeder top lock Steph, dissuading the usage of the pick. So Draymond says, "Screw it, I'm Steph Curry," and blows that action up and instead pops himself out to the three-point line. With 10 seconds left on the shot clock, Draymond Green out of everyone wants to get a 2-for-1 opportunity, and luckily he confidently shot and made this three. I'm shook. There you guys have it. The Warriors keep winning post All-Star break in this new era of Golden State basketball. With a tough test against the Detroit Pistons coming to town, the Dubs continue to prove that they've been no fluke with their two superstars, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. It was Jimmy who took control, reading the defense and showing off his elite three-level scoring. Butler knocked down threes, hit his patented mid-range jumpers, and used his footwork to jump stop through the paint for and one layup opportunities, all while finding his teammates as well. He does all this without flashy dribbling, just pure timing and incredible footwork. Now let's keep this homestand momentum going. So if you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.